Hello and welcome to a special edition of Sit, Start, and Smash with Snoog and Dad. We have a fun show. We're going to really talk about what's going to happen here on Thursday night. Well, a lot of you guys have really been tuning into the live stream. We love that. We love you guys, all the different support you guys have done through the Patreon, through the Discord, through YouTube, super chats, all that kind of stuff. We're super excited just to talk about what this game is going to look like tonight. Nobody better to chop it up with him. My main man, Snoog. How you doing?
Doing good, Dad. I mean, we got one of the best Thursday night games probably of the season tonight with a divisional rival between the 49ers and the Seahawks. We got two RB1s playing in this game, Kenneth Walker, Jordan Mason, and we got a plethora of weapons with DK Metcalf, JSN, Deebo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk, George Kittle, Geno Smith, Brock Purdy. The list goes on. I'm excited. 48.5-point total for Vegas draft books and most big sports casinos out there. So I'm excited. This should be a projected shootout game, big high scoring fantasy point game to have players in. I'm excited to jump into it, answer some start sits, answer some trade questions before we get into week 6. It's kicking off tonight, but we're going to answer questions through Sunday as well to help you guys get ready. So
I love it. It says, hey, let's make some money, man. Right off the bat. And I know what I absolutely love is when you guys on YouTube just jump right off the bat with Dynasty questions. Theo Darling, awesome, man. Love it when you chop it up with us. What's up, guys? Just traded Ayuk for A-Chain in Dynasty. My team is undefeated, so I can take some risk. Is this a trade that you would make? Snoog, what do you think here? I mean, we've
Bring
had
out the cowbell. Bring it out.
A-Chain.
Bring it out.
Let's go, baby. Yo, A-Chain week 1 and 2 was phenomenal. 2 is coming back. I think you're selling high on an Ayuk, solid week. And it's perfect transition here because we're going to talk about Ayuk a little bit. But I think Devon A-Chain is considerably higher value when you're talking about Dynasty. And I do think he is a big-time buy low because if you have a team that is, projected right now to be a playoff team, Devon A-Chain is a league winner. Brandon Ayuk at this point in the game, Snoog, is a wide receiver 2 for me.
Yeah, exactly. That's how I'm looking at it. I'll change my Dynasty RB4. Brandon Ayuk's, he's a stud, but there's so many mouths to feed in that offense. It's like almost like he's stuck in that Jalen Waddle, Devontae Smith type player role where it's like you're guaranteed 1,200 yards and 7 touchdowns, but you're never going to get a top 10, top 5 season out of him. So I just prefer A-Chain, a guy that could be RB1 overall in a season, or could be a guy that's putting up 300 plus fantasy points. So it's just a production thing for me with A-Chain, and he's still 23 years old. So
I'm with you. And I think Ayuk is this week. I have him as my wide receiver 17. I do think against Seattle, there is going to be some points in this game. I do think, Jordan Mason's obviously going to be a smash start. I think Deebo's still the guy in San Francisco. It's Deebo and Kittle. The Ayuk show has really taken a back seat. He looked great with this past week, but I think we're going to see a lot more of Deebo Samuel. Jay Gondia, I love that you guys are asking these questions. Again, you guys can get super chats done on all your start sits. You can get it done on pretty much anything you guys want. We will just stop what we're doing and cover that. But we're going to answer all the other questions the best we can as well. That's just your only guaranteed way to get it in. 10-team Superflex start 9. We traded 27 first and Lazard for Kamara and Polk. Currently 4-1 and need a running back help. Snoog, we talked about that 27 class. It is, but only, it's a 10 team, right? And we're talking about that class. If this is, you should be able to get Kamara for a pair of seconds, something like that. If it's the 27 first and Jay Gondia, you're going to be a contender. You're going to be someone that over the next 2 years is going to be at the top. I'm fine with it. But the wide receivers in that class, Snoog, you and I were talking about it, like that's going to be the next Neighbors Harrison. You're not going to want to miss out on that. So as long as it's going to stay late, you can recoup that. I would trade that 27 first to get to Kamara. Snoog, I don't usually like to trade picks 2 years out. I don't know about you, but for me, I'm just like 26, sure. 27 scared me a little bit.
Yeah, that's how I am. I'm actually buying 27 first over 26 first right now. Better class. You got 2 elite QBs and 2 guaranteed elite wide receivers in that class already. And you get the discount because it's further out. So I'm really excited buying into 2027 firsts. If I'm guaranteed winning the ship, I'd buy Alvin Kamara because he's the top 3 running back this year. Yeah. But I don't love doing it. I still love that first, that liquid asset, especially 2 years down the road. But if
he's got longevity, that's where him and Derrick Henry, I'm perfectly fine paying a 25 109 to 112 right now, and I would pay
Yeah,
at
I think
26,
Kamara, I
and
don't
I'd pay
think
at 27.
he's slowing down anytime soon. I think Kamara's going to be a guy when he's 31, 32 years old
Yeah.
is still somewhat valuable. So,
We got another one here. Despacho Daro says, how much is it worth for Brees Hall? We did an entire show. We were covering him yesterday. I still say he's worth 2 elite level. You get a mid first and a late first. I think he's 2 to 2.5 first. He plays the Buffalo Bills this week. He is going to go off, and this is the last time you're going to have to buy him. And at the end of the year, we're going to say, when you see he has the easiest schedule from weeks 10 to 18, we're going to say, Snoog, man, we were laughing when we bought Brees Hall because this was the time to do it. So
yeah,
many
exactly.
awesome questions in here. You guys are breaking the internet. I'm not into Dynasty. That's okay. Nobody's perfect. Who asked you anyways? That's his name. I'm interested in what you're thinking. I just traded Jordan Love for Amari Cooper in a 1 quarterback league, and I have Jalen Hurts. Good or bad move? I'm perfectly fine with it. I mean, I don't think it's, I think Jordan Love is a top 8 quarterback the rest of the way, so I'm not wild on it. But Amari Cooper is going to give you decent value. Snoog, I'm a little bit higher. We play all super flex and in Dynasty, but I do think this is a decent trade. Amari Cooper should be fine rest of the way.
Yeah, I mean it's one QB redraft, so it's not like quarterbacks are really super valuable. Mari's averaging 9.5 targets per game. It ain't really doing nothing because Deshaun Watson's been absolutely trash. Hopefully they fire up Jameis Winston and we get some of those that blind gunslinger action for Amari Cooper and
For
help
sure.
beef up the fantasy production.
Snoog, we got Panda Man right here. Which 3 wide receivers would you start? Marv, DJ Moore, Deontay Johnson, George Pickens, and Wicks. Keep it up, guys. Love the content. For me, the biggest one here, and I got to show it. So we honestly, Snoog, we had Smashmore September, and we gave away the jersey. And guess what? He didn't claim it. It's still here. We're going to give it away next week on the podcast. So make sure you guys subscribe to the YouTube page and either send Snoog or I just send us a screenshot that you guys subscribed. I can't believe you'd win an autographed DJ Moore jersey and just be like, nah, I'm not even going to message him back, which is fine because somebody else is going to win it, somebody that deserves it. But which 3 wide receivers? For me, DJ Moore is a smash play. He's the only one here that I have as an absolute smash because they play the Jaguars, who are absolutely horrendous against the wide receiver. They are giving up the most fantasy points per game to the wide receiver, the most yards, the most receptions, and second and most touchdowns. I mean, it's just a no-brainer. But the other 2, I have Marv pretty much as a clear second shot. I hope you agree with that. I think he's a top 12 play. But what about the other 3?
Deontay for me.
Yeah, same. I really want to see it from
easy.
Pickens. And I really want to see it from Wicks, but I think this is a pretty much let's go across the board. We're going to start Deontay Johnson. Chan Hughes, he's jumping in here. Love him from the inside the Patreon Discord family. You guys want to join that right now? No better time. $5 a month. You get my content. You get Snoog's content. You get access to both of our DMs, our buys, our sells, our start sits, like literally everything. Snoog, this morning I woke up. 60 plus messages, just hit them all. Then I went to lunch. At work and I was like, boom, 60 more. Now we're doing this here. And I just, dropped my daughter off from cross country.
DMs are flooded.
And then it's like, woo, but we're here for you guys.
I literally can't even do DMs on Twitter anymore because I just have so many to do in the Discord that I'm just always
closed it completely.
Whenever I have the free time, when I'm not doing actual work, like my real work or Dynasty and like redraft stuff
we do have
myself,
jobs.
I'm in that Discord. Yeah, we do have jobs. We have other lives. I have a girlfriend. I have a family, unfortunately. So I do have to do other things.
Unfortunately, on the girlfriend part, man, wait till she hears all about that.
On things other than fantasy football, but I decided that I'm exclusively doing only rankings in the Discord. No more on Twitter. No Dynasty. No redraft rankings. Weekly rankings, Dynasty rankings, all that good stuff in the Discord. Rookie stuff. Nowhere else. So.
All right, worried neighbors may sit. We have the auto sub feature. First of all, boo to the auto sub. I just hate it. But would you put Lockett in as an auto sub if he starts Stevenson, Gibson, Algier, or Lockett? I'm putting Ram in there if that's what I'm saying.
Easy.
Like, I think that's
Easily
there for me.
Yep.
Ryan says keep being offered Brees Hall, but not sure who I can lose for him. Other lad, I love it. What's Bijan, Pollard, and Wilson for Hall and Nico? I'm 4-1. Is that much of a difference for this season moving forward between Bijan and Hall with the new coaching staff? I don't see much of a difference between the two. I do have Brees favored the rest of the way, but the biggest thing here is I'm taking Bijan and Wilson because you're getting Wilson's going to be playing. Nico's out the next 4 weeks. You know what I mean? Like that's one where at least Houston's doing this the right way, right? They're not trying to be like one of those franchises where I bet Nico could have played not this week, but next week. But they're like, you know what? Let's just put him on IR. We're going to be in the playoffs. Let's do things the right way. So, I'm passing on that one. Snoog, Connor Clement says he has Andrews and Ertz, and he's 5-0. Someone with Mark Andrews that's 5-0. That's rare to see these days. Is it worth making a move for a tight end at this point or no?
Yes.
You're gonna say one man. I know who it's gonna be.
George Kittle.
The 12-team super flex. All right. So
George
if it's
Kittle
dynasty,
is an expensive buy in dynasty. If it's dynasty, George Kittle as a buy, or you could go with the Travis Kelce route, or you could go cheaper and go with like a Jake Ferguson, Evan Ingram, and take a shot on that.
Yeah.
But if you really just want like a cheap dart throw, probably go with like a Zach Ertz, Pat Fryer.
Mm-hmm.
Don't even do that. Just go for an expensive guy.
Go for those.
It's gonna be the difference
don't play
between
games.
winning your league or not. Honestly.
Yeah, and right now, Snoog, I got 4 guys that smash starts this week. The beginning of the year, it was 6, 7, 8. Right now, I have my 1 and 2, and they're interchangeable for me as McBride against Green Bay or Kittle tonight versus Seattle. I think both of them, Seattle gives up a ton of fantasy points, 5.6 receptions per game to tight end. So Kittle's going to feast tonight. And then you look at, I have Ferguson 4 and Brock Bowers, the dynasty tight end 1. I have as a top 3 tight end the rest of the way, and he does, and this week as well. So if you can get Brock Bowers on a discount, you do it. Some people aren't quite, they haven't caught up to it yet. But man, could you imagine the volume Brock's going to have if Devontae really goes? Like what we're really going to see. We're going to see the greatest.
Shador Sanders next year, like everyone's saying.
I lit 5-0. Should I trade Garrett Wilson for Tyreek? I'm assuming 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is his name. I'm assuming this is redraft here. I'm going to keep Wilson. I'm really I have this going on in one of my leagues, Snoog, right now where I'm kind of middle of the pack, and I got Tyreek Hill, and this is the bye week. And now this time, if you're playing redraft, you can, if you're 5-0 like this guy, you can take the risk on Tyreek. I do think if Tua comes back and he does in week 8, this would be a huge trade. What are you doing here, Wilson or Tyreek rest of schedule?
I'm taking Tyreek. I think Tua's locked and loaded, ready to go by week 8.
I hope so.
And I just think I'm taking Tyreek Hill over Garrett Wilson at that point, if Tua's healthy, for sure.
JC Eastwood, what sort of assets are you willing to give up for Bijan right now? Jacobs in a late first and late second sounds fair. Sounds like an absolute smash for me. Like if you could take Josh Jacobs or even Kenneth Walker and get yourself up to Bijan Robinson, you get yourself, James Cook in a first, get up to there. I mean, this is Jacobs right now. I have valued at the 201 in Dynasty. I only have 13 running backs. I posted it today. 13 running backs that I believe are worth a first. Jacobs is number 14 at 201. So giving up an early, we'll call it a late first, another late first, and a late second for Bijan. That to me is a smash. Like if you have the depth, if you have the picks, if it's for certain going to be late, do it. No questions.
I do think Josh Jacobs is an amazing buy, and I think touchdowns are going to start coming his way, and it's going to start this week against Arizona. He scored last week. He had a good week last week, but I think it's going to the Packers haven't been in a game where they're winning, and it sucks because they haven't been able to just chew the clock down and grind him out as a workhorse running back like he is. He's a guy that should see 20, 25 carries and score a touchdown weekly, and he's catching the ball. So he's a guy that I love on a second half of the year blow up.
And he's much better with Love. I think he'll be fine. We got Joey Johnson wants to know start BTJ, Olave, or Devonta Smith. Right now in my weekly rankings, I have BTJ at 21, Devonta at 22, and Olave at 19. I do think Olave is going to actually eat with Spencer Rattler. So if this is too. I think this is the same tier.
Smith, I think top 15.
Yeah. See, Brian Thomas Jr. gets Chicago. So I'm sitting him out of the 3 because Chicago's secondary and the Tennessee secondary
this year.
It just like don't go near
defense,
that.
I think.
So as much as I love Brian Thomas Jr., I'm sitting him. If you can stack Brian, if you have Devonta and Jalen, I would go that way. I'm slightly leaning Olave, but I got no problem going Devonta. Snoog is going Devonta on that one. Tony V says, let's go. Of course, Snoog, that's what we do. Let's go. Rest of the season. Marvin. Yeah, the rest of it, not everybody can see these when they're listening at home. Rest of season, Marvin Harrison Jr. or DJ Moore. I think rest of season, I think both of these guys have top 12 upside. I really do. But I have Marvin Harrison Jr. more like 10 and DJ Moore more like 12. I think Marvin Harrison Jr. has had some letdown games, and I think as Kyler gets a little bit more comfortable, as everything starts to gel, you're going to see him weekly right up there at the top where he belongs. That's a good one. He also is asking, this is why, are we selling Marv for Drake London and Puka Nacua? Assuming we're talking redraft here, I mean, Dynasty, I'm definitely taking London and Puka. Redraft, I'm also taking London and Puka because I think you're going to get a shot in the arm with Puka down the stretch.
That, yeah.
Yeah,
either way, I'm smashing that. Yeah, that's a banger.
Puka's become quite a value in between there. You know what I mean? We're starting to see that. Izzy O says, I'm 4-1, 8-men superflex. Should I trade Dobbins and Olave for Breece Hall? And the answer is absolutely. You go get Breece Hall. You're 4-1. Dobbins, has been decent. Breece Hall could be phenomenal. You already have neighbors, DJ Moore, Mooney, Payne Thomas Jr. Izzy's a guy that I know follows both of us on Twitter. So he's sharp. He's got it. Olave really hasn't been it. So if you can go ahead and cash in and get yourself Breece Hall for that, I just can't see why you wouldn't take it. We already talked about that one. Another one for you guys. Panda's back. Yeah, we'll talk a little bit San Francisco here at some point, but you guys, we love just trying to do this for you guys. Should I trade away Etienne, and who should I target? I was thinking about maybe Pollard. My RB1's Bijan. My other two RBs are Rico and Roshan. 10-team PPR redraft currently sitting at 2 and 3.
I'm holding Etienne there, hoping that Doug Peterson's being honest about Travis Etienne actually being injured right now, and just hoping for an explosion through the second half of the year. Because Travis Etienne last year was the opposite. Through the first 10 weeks, he was RB1 overall, and then I think from weeks 10 on, he was just like an RB2. He was putting up like 13, 14 points per game, but he was like 21 points per game in the first 10 weeks. And he was injured in the second half of the year. So I think that Travis Etienne could be a gem, and just all of a sudden, because like Tank Bigsby, it's almost like we've seen this already with him, right? Like he's just always been that guy that just can't put it together. And despite all the great runs that he had, I was watching his film, his all-22 from his first couple games. There's so many runs that it's like, what the heck are you doing? Like he just looks lost. So he's their hit and miss. He's like a ticking time bomb waiting to happen. He reminds me a lot of like Miles Sanders and like his Eagles days. Like if there's a hole, or like he does way too much and just ends up screwing up a run. He's like a poor man's Kenneth Walker without the athleticism. That's what Tank Bigsby is. So I think Travis Etienne's just going to eventually take that role back once he's healthy, and he'll be fine. That's my prediction. But Tank is playing great right now, so it is a little risky. So if you can shop him and get someone else, I would entertain it, but I would also be fine keeping him.
Yeah, I think you're 1 week away. You got to see Etienne play again. Etienne put up solid numbers. I have Pollard over Etienne this week, but not rest of the season. Rest of the season, I think it's Etienne. And I think if he has a good game, you could flip him for Joe Mixon. You could flip him. What I really try to advocate people doing, and Snoog and I talk about this all the time, is you're trying to get a different running back. Don't do a 1-for-1. Do a 2-for-2. So you trade him a wide receiver that you feel like, is a little bit not quite as good as what you want. So like I'm always trying to buy Devonta Smith. So if I get Devonta Smith and Joe Mixon and I deal Travis Etienne and Terry McLaurin, I actually feel good about that. But he might feel the same. Like once you introduce 2 assets instead of that 1-for-1, it gives you a lot more opportunities to win. It gives you a lot more momentum in your trades. Jeffrey Silva says, if A-Rich starts, need one. Downs, JSN, or Tracy. Please, if A-Rich doesn't start, Downs is going to have a phenomenal week because Pittman is doubtful. Pittman's leaning towards actually, going on IR from what I've seen. And they play Tennessee. Now, Tennessee does have Snead. They're going to lock down. So they're either going to lock down Downs or Adonai Mitchell. I think the other one, whoever that is in this offense, has an opportunity. but I'm starting JSN here if A Rich starts. And I think I might even, you know what? I think I'm starting him either way. Right now, I have Downs at 35 and I have Jackson Smith and Jigba at 39. So it's like really close. And that's if Flacco's there. If it's A Rich, I'm starting JSN. What about you?
Yeah, I'd probably start Downs here, but I would start It's tough because I
I'm
would just
worried
start
about Sneed.
JSN.
Sneed shut down
Yeah,
everybody.
I would start JSN because Charvarius Ward, the 49ers cornerback one, the best cornerback and DB on that team, is out tonight. He's inactive. So we could see a big DK and JSN game, especially with him being out. So, and if the Niners go up by a lot, which I don't think they do, JSN's going to get a lot of opportunity for some garbage time passing volume. So,
my man from the super hot. Should I start Jacobs over Ayuk this week? Also starting Gibbs, Mason, and K9. First of all, I want to say Gibbs.
I would.
I'm starting the running back. Whenever I have it this close together, I always take the running back because you chase
He's got
the
Arizona. He's got Arizona. They're one of the worst run defenses in the NFL. He's guaranteed a touchdown. I just roll with that.
Yes. Right now, Arizona allows 125 and one touchdown in every single game, plus 4 receptions to the running back. I think we're definitely taking it that way. He is my RB7 for the week. Jordan Mason is my RB5. Gibbs is my RB3. Your team is going, and Walker's the top 10. You're going to smash this week, and that's why you're in the Smash Accept Patreon, man. He knows what he's talking about. Love it. Next one, Carlos Romano.
You, Dad.
Another guy in there. Start Burrow, Purdy, or Geno. He gets to start 2 guys. We're talking about Superflex. I'm pulling up my week 6 rankings.
Purdy, Burrow, easy. I just saw inactives for Seattle. Tariq Woolen, their starting corners out. They're starting DN and Miles Adams, and they're starting D tackle and Byron Murphy is out. This game is looking prime to be an absolute shootout tonight with deep. There's so many good defensive players inactive on both sides of the ball. Fully healthy offenses on both sides of the ball. Purdy hasn't had one of those big games in a bit. He's got a fully healthy arsenal of weapons now. I could see him with like a 3 touchdown performance tonight. Like I could see a legacy Purdy game. I really like this.
He's been buy low right now.
I'm so excited for tonight.
Yeah, Purdy. I think I'm going Burrow 100%. He's got the Giants, and then I'm leading Purdy. I'm leading Purdy over Geno. I do have Geno as a sneaky good top 16 play, but I have Purdy higher. So Purdy right now I have at 14, both of them in the same tier. Chan Hughes wants to know Cousins, Fields, and Geno. I'm taking Cousins and Fields. I think Fields is solidified himself as a top 10 quarterback week in and week out. And Kirk Cousins this week, everybody loves Kirko. He gets Carolina, Snoog. Everybody eats against the Panthers. So I'm taking that pretty easily. Next one, James the second. Should I be playing Mooney over McLaurin? I have Garrett, Jamar, and BTJ, and I'm starting at wide receiver. Mooney over McLaurin. This is a tough one. I have McLaurin higher in my rankings, but Mooney has had some nice boom weeks lately. I do think Mooney's Garrett. I am too, and I think
Mooney's got Carolina. Terry's going up against the Ravens. That you could make an argument for that, but with the way JD's been playing and
Ravens give
really
up a ton.
Good, I feel like you kind of got to.
Ravens give up top 5 points to the quarterback, and so the wide receivers get involved here.
I didn't even know that.
They've been in shootouts. I mean, look what Burrow did last week. Burrow threw for insane amounts of yards. Should I trade away Ayuk for Smitty? You go get Devonta Smith anytime you can. You don't ask that kind of question. You go get him. You smash that. You go get it right now.
And see if Ayuk has a big week against Seattle. If he has another like 15 to 20 point week, then I would flip him in a third for Smitty in a second type deal.
Ryan wants to know, what do you expect from Ayuk later? What kind of role volume do you expect against the Seahawks D? I have Chase, AJ, and Wilson. Unsure if I risk starting Ayuk. So, I mean, if I have Chase, AJ Brown, and Garrett Wilson, I'm not playing him.
I'm not starting
like that.
Him. Yeah.
We're not. You could say what you want about Garrett Wilson's opponent this week. I mean, Garrett Wilson is the only no-brainer out of that list. Garrett goes up against. Hold on a second. Goes up against Buffalo. Buffalo's secondary is really good. Buffalo run defense is a turd sandwich.
Yeah. Yeah, that could open up a lot for him with Breece Hall pounding the rock, finally play action, Garrett downfield more. I think Ayuk's prime for like a 15 to 17 point game, like pretty high floor. I'm predicting a big George Kittle, Debo Samuel type night. This Seattle
Mm-hmm.
run defense is missing some starting defensive linemen. Seattle gives up a ton of points to tight ends. Debo Samuel is going to probably score a touchdown. He's always due for a touchdown. I think it's going to be everybody but Ayuk tonight, but I could see a scenario where Jordan Mason, George Kittle, Debo Samuel, and Ayuk all go for like 10 to 15 plus points tonight, like easily. Like I think they all have a good week. I think Purdy has a really good week as well. So
Yeah.
I'm interested to see, but I definitely think it's a Kittle Debo type of night. That's what I'm feeling at least.
Yeah, I was trying to pull up some props here as far as first touchdown scorer. You get plus 450 on Jordan Mason. That feels like the easiest one there. But I wanted to pull up receiving yards. Brandon Ayuk right now. We're
Probably 62
minus
and a half.
110. Yeah, it's right about where it is, and it's at 68. You know what I mean? But you're right in that area. I think he goes over 70 this week. Here's the fun one. I love this.
15.
Price check on Kittle for Dynasty tight end premium. Right now, I believe we both have him as our Dynasty tight end 5, if I'm correct. When we're right into that area. The
He's
difference
my 4,
being
actually.
You're 4. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Right now, so you have him over. You have him over Hawk. I thought last night you moved him back up. Okay, I have him.
Hawk. I'll tell you
right
why
now,
in a second when you're done.
I have him worth the 108, 109. Like 107 to 109 range. I don't really want to pay the 107. I think you can get him for like a late first plus, throw in an add-on, maybe a early second, late first plus Ben Sinnott, or you just try like a Cole Kmet type. You try to get yourself up there. That's really what I'm trying to do with Kittle. I have an interesting question for you because I was talking with a really sharp guy that's in the Discord today, and he's like, I know you always talk about insulating Dad. What do you think of Sam Laporta in a second for George Kittle in a first?
Smash. Biggest smash ever. Here's why.
Because I don't think you can get it just a first, but if we're going to do it that way, I'm in.
I'm smashing that. Here's why. It's this simple. I haven't posted this yet, but George Kittle since 2018, that's 7 years ago. So 2018, tight end 3, tight end 1, tight end 3, tight end 4, tight end 3, tight end 6, and currently this year he's tight end 1 in fantasy points per game. And that's in just regular tight end, no tight end premium, just regular PPR. He's literally been one of the best tight ends in fantasy for 7 straight years, and he still looks amazing. I think, and Purdy always finds Kittle. If you watched all the 49ers games the past few weeks, Kittle should have like 3 more touchdowns. 2 of them Purdy missed, and there was another one Purdy threw way too late, and Kittle like tried to turn and reach for the pylon but stepped out. So like Kittle should be doing like ridiculous stuff right now if you've been really keeping an eye on that. So he is going to explode this year, and I'm really excited for George Kittle because he's like one of my most owned dynasty players, and I have him literally in every single league, basically. So I'm
with you. Doug Chapp wants to know, trade London and Dowdle for Hall and Pickens.
Dynasty, yes.
I saw it, yeah. Even in redraft, I'm doing it.
Yeah, in anything.
I want Hall over London, no matter what the format, and Pickens way over Dowdle. We got...
Lockett stinks. JSN, Metcalf.
Ivo says if Neighbors is out, I have to start one between Downs, Sutton, Tolbert, or Bucky Irving. I'm saying Bucky Irving.
Really?
I mean, I'm telling you, there is that. No Pittman, but we're talking about you have to lock up against the top defense in the entire NFL when it comes to fantasy points per game against the wide receiver. Like he could end up. Yeah. The Titans are ridiculous when it comes to that. What I'm looking at with Bucky Irving plays against the Saints. I think the Saints are more susceptible. They have a better pass defense. I think I'm going Bucky here because it's 0.5. Because what Downs has to score a touchdown because that's the thing. Like he's going to get 6 receptions, but in 0.5, that's only 3. Right. Yeah. That's where I'm kind of like, we just talked about that one. Let's pull up. Man, you guys are just crazy hitting it. I love it. We got... Smooth Criminal. We finally can answer your question. Normally he's just like, hey, what's up? Good morning. This time he says, what's up, fellas? Flexing Jacoby or JSN?
JSN.
I think it's JSN for me this week, but it's pretty close because I think I have Jacoby Myers.
Ward out. I'm starting Seahawks wideouts.
Jacoby Myers I have as my 38. I think he's going against Pittsburgh. It's another tough situation. Christian Smith says, should I trade Jordan Mason for Breece Hall? Yes. You should have done it yesterday. Jordan Mason has been fantastic. Let him play. I would even trade him before tonight. But you get Brees Hall here because Brees Hall is going to be the starting running back the rest of the year. Christian McCaffrey news starting to sound a little bit more inviting, like we could get him back by week 10 is the last thing that I've heard. And if you can go out there and kick the tires, I mean, I offered Najee Plus in multiple leagues for Christian McCaffrey in redraft. Dynasty, I'm trying to go out there and buy Christian McCaffrey cheap now. Chan Hughes says Ayuk had like 150 of Purdy's 250 last week. I can't take him out of my lineup. Hey, we just give you – there's the thing. When it comes to start sits, we just give you the information. Ultimately, it is your decision completely. You know, we want to do those kind of things. We want to kind of set you guys up for success, but that's completely where you guys are at. Christian says, hey, love all your content. You guys have helped me out a ton. Christian, you'd like it even more in the Patreon, man. The Patreon Discord, check it out. Money back guaranteed, you know, but we appreciate the support either way. Robert Reynolds, Ferguson or Flowers in 0.5 tight end premium. Love listening to you guys. Snoog, Ferguson in that Dallas versus Detroit game, I think he scores 1 to 2 touchdowns. Flowers has that juicy Washington secondary who allows, you know, number 2 in fantasy points per game to the wide receiver. That tight end premium puts it over the top for me for Ferguson, but it's close.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's I don't know. I know I'm starting Flowers. They're playing the Commanders. Like, that's just a weak defense. I'm just gonna roll and say Flowers there. You have to. I like where you're going because they could just run up the score and just Derrick Henry,
yeah.
and then it's like the game script.
I think there's a 0% chance that the Dallas-Detroit game isn't going to be in the 50-plus between the two teams in the over-under.
Yeah, they're going to be 20-plus points each.
They're going to be throwing it. Smooth Criminal said, thanks again, fellas. Just traded Garrett Wilson and Tank Bigsby for CD Lamb in redraft. # smash. That's beyond a smash, man. That is an awesome one. That gets the cowbell. We'll break it out. That's fantastic. Last one. I have more. Ivo says, I have more in Swift. Should I try to sell high on one of them? I'm selling high on DeAndre Swift. I don't believe it's going to maintain. I don't think we're going to keep going. Snoog, what do you think?
Yeah, I think I'm selling high on Swift, but I don't know what you can get for him if you're selling high. That's a tough one. DJ Moore, I'm holding. I think this offense is just going to piece itself together more and more as we move forward and just get better and better, personally. But
I lied and said it was my last one, but Steven just said he upgraded his 2 flex spots, JSN into BTJ and Pittman/Downs into Zay Flowers. That's the way to do it. You get BTJ and Zay Flowers. Anytime you can get off of Pittman, you know we love it. He put, thanks for your help. Dad and Snoog are the new Kobe and Shaq. Ooh, okay. I like that. I mean, you're the young Kobe. I'm the big Shaq. I'm going to back you down and bang on him, you know, and help you guys out with that. I love it. That's super cool. We had that Batman and Robin meme that somebody made and put into the Discord there as well. But Shaq and Kobe's much better. We'll kind of roll with that. Even though you're a Boston guy, you know, we're not gonna say Garnett and Pierce. All right, Snoop. So real quick, you know, tonight's matchup, smash or pass in your starting lineups. Jordan Mason,
smash.
Purdy,
smash.
Geno,
smash.
You're just getting them all in there. Let's get it on.
Geno smash, but I'm not starting him over anybody I shouldn't start him over. So he's not a top 10 quarterback for me this week. But like super flex, I'm starting him. Yeah, he's like in that range. I got him for 2. You know, in one of my leagues last week, I traded a late. What will probably, I mean, it's the most dominant team I have. We're talking about a late 26 and 27 second for Geno Smith, and I'm fine with that. You know, like I think no one's paying a first for Geno, but if you get him for a pair of seconds, as long as they aren't too early, 25 seconds, I'm fine because I think, you know, he's here to stay. You know, a lot of people thought Sam Howell was going to take over, but this new system is really good for Geno Smith. So Kenneth Walker is clearly a smash. Zach Charbonnet, are you willing to flex him in a game like this? I am as well. We got Kittle on the other side. Noah Fant. Pass.
Yeah, we got to pass on that. DK Metcalf's obviously a smash. JSN
is like in between a smash and a pass. I'm starting him at flex over those weird guys like the Jacoby Myers, the Josh Downs, those guys. I'm not starting
Yeah.
him over the Devontae Smiths, Chris Olaves, those guys. So he's a fringe top 25 play for me this week. A little bit of a boost with Charvarius Ward out and some of the other players that are out. I think that gives him a little bit of a boost for me. But
Mhm.
yeah, I'd say he stands as a wide receiver 3 this week with upside.
I love it. We wanted to bring you this show real quick. We've been doing this every night, trying to get things going, talking to you guys, trying to help you guys out. I got to pick my kids up from football, so it's dad time. We got to get there out there. Best of luck to everybody in their week 6 matchup. Thanks again for tuning in, guys, and enjoy the process.
Let's go.